Dickie, the camera's on.
I know that. I'm just collecting my thoughts.
Okay. Do you want me to turn it off until you're ready?
I'm ready.
Fine. It's just that there's not a lot happening in front of the camera.
Alice, that's nothing for you to worry about.
Well, you're the one who wanted to share your adventure with the world. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm ready now. There's just so much to tell. Just so much. I realized that my last presentation to you was a bit scattered, so I've decided to focus my talks into narrow topics that will give me the opportunity to efficiently relate my observations of the Phi civilization and their individual natures to you in a complete and thorough manner. I will begin by describing to you my initial encounters with the Phi spacecraft and my ultimate face-to-face meeting with the Phi individuals, as I mentioned in my previous broadcast.
It's not really a broadcast. You're on the web.
I've already described to you the isolated situation of my home. I'm 70 miles from the nearest town, and it's a small town. Barely 80 people live there. The night sky here is spectacular. I've made it a nightly habit to sit outside and stare up at my own personal field of stars for a few hours before turning in. It was on one of those nights that I first spotted the Phi craft. I was gazing up at the constellation Orion when I noticed a small spot of light moving across its belt. And at first I thought it might have been a satellite, but then it stopped. It just stopped, dead in the air. And by then I figured it ain't no satellite. It moved again, stopped, and then started zigzagging back towards my direction. Its speed was breathtaking. I expected it to pass right over me, but it halted directly overhead, and damned if it didn't start to descend. I could have crapped in my pants. As it got lower, I could clearly see that it was saucer-shaped, and it moved with a little wobble like it was traveling over some kind of invisible waves. Then, when it was just about waist high from the ground, it stopped and hovered over my father's old jojoba field. I was paralyzed in my chair. Well, it floated there absolutely still. The craft was about 40 feet across and maybe 8 feet high at its widest. The entire surface of it emitted a soft blue glow that seemed to pulsate slightly. I didn't think it was possible to feel this keyed up. I felt like my heart was going to explode. Sitting perfectly still in my chair, I just watched, as I'm certain the occupants within the craft watched me. It just remained there for about half an hour.
What?
Oh, nothing. I was just reflecting on the moment.
Well, anyone watching you really can't see that. You've got a veil covering your face. Looks like you're having a stroke when you do that.
Then it left. It rose, speeding up as it gained altitude until it was, again, just a small dot of light among the stars in the sky. Then it streaked off over the horizon. I stayed outside looking at the sky for another hour. No words can describe how I felt after that encounter. I went to bed shortly afterwards, but couldn't sleep. And how could anyone sleep after an experience like that? A fucking flying saucer had just parked itself in front of my house. I lay in bed going over every moment from when I first spotted the craft, first time I saw the saucer to the time it lifted off. I'd been transformed by this experience. I had just witnessed undeniable proof that we are not the sole intelligent inhabitants of the universe. It was impossible to lie in bed or even keep still. I got up and paced from room to room until I couldn't even bear to be contained within the walls of my own home and wandered through the desert. The sun rose and I still walked until fatigue overcame me. I made my way back to my house and lay down, tried to sleep. did sleep. When I woke up, I discovered that I'd slept through the day and it was dark outside. So I jumped up, hoping to catch a glimpse of last night's visitor. What I saw outside my door shocked me beyond what I imagined was possible. Parked in the exact same spot where it floated the previous night was the alien spacecraft. Seating myself in the same chair I'd sat in the night before, I proceeded to entertain myself immensely by taking in the gentle glowing curves of the floating saucer and thought of myself as the luckiest human being on Earth. And later, after the saucer departed, I didn't want to endure another sleepless night, so I downed an ungodly amount of brandy and was able to collapse into a deep sleep. Despite the monstrous headache I suffered the next morning, the sleep refreshed me, and I was out waiting when my visitors returned that evening. The craft flew in from the northwestern sky, and for the next 2.5 weeks, it returned to hover next to my house.
Did you tell anyone?
What?
Did you tell anyone? You know, like the police, the army, the FBI, anyone.
Why would I want to do that?
Oh, never mind.
Each visitation of the alien craft was an absolute miracle. However, I eventually found myself yearning for more. And you'd think I'd be satisfied as the only human on Earth. I assume I was the only one to enjoy nightly visits from an interstellar vehicle, but my curiosity about who was piloting this craft had become more and more whetted. Then one morning, I hear a knock at my door. Now, I'm a light sleeper. I mean, it doesn't take much to wake me. And after glancing at my clock, I'm thinking, who the fuck's knocking at my door at 5:46 in the morning? I mean, that was the whole point of moving out in the middle of the goddamn fucking desert, and that's to be alone and not to be bothered by anyone. My best guess at the moment was that it was probably some damn javelina hunters lost and trying to find their way back to the highway. I mean, they've been here before. After getting directions, they have the gall to want to wait and hang around and chat and ask the same goddamn stupid questions. What's it like living out here all by yourself? I mean, don't you ever get lonely for some company? No, god damn it, I don't. That's why I moved out here, to get away from idiots like you.
Dickie,
Yeah?
the knocking.
Oh, yeah. Hey, how's the battery holding up in the camera?
Fine, I gave it a fresh charge yesterday.
And we won't need to discontinue our session anytime soon?
No, we can go on for another hour. What's wrong?
I gotta go.
Go?
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Can't it wait?
No, just stop the camera.
You...
I said stop the camera, goddammit.